It's a rare inherited eye condition which eventually causes severe tunnel vision.
My face might appear quite blurry.
Macular degeneration is an eye disease affecting the macula.
Stargardt's disease.
Stargardt's disease.
Stargardt's disease.
Stargardt's disease.
Stargardt's disease.
And this one on, the lights. All lights on. 3, 2, 1, action.
Hello, my name is Jaxson Winter and I'm legally blind. At around 5th grade, I noticed that my vision was starting to deteriorate. I brought this to the attention of my teachers, and they decided to move me closer to the board in class. No matter how close I was to the board in class, I still couldn't see the board.
When Jaxson got to 5th grade, he started telling me how he didn't know how to read anymore and he wasn't good at math anymore, and I was telling him that just didn't make any sense.
I told my parents about this, and they decided to bring me to an optometrist.
The optometrist was clearly getting annoyed with him, and I asked her if she could slow down and ask him the questions differently, and she was saying he wasn't telling the truth, that he just wanted glasses. And later, when we found out what Jaxson had, and I read a bunch of different stories about how people started with Stargardt's, it turns out a lot of their stories started the same way.
This went on for many years. I kept getting stronger lenses, but nothing helped. Finally, my optometrist referred me to the ophthalmology department at the Shiley Eye Institute. The ophthalmologist there ran many tests on me over the span of many different appointments.
When we first found out that Jaxson needed to see the ophthalmologist, we had to wait a few weeks before that appointment. And as you can imagine, I was very anxious. I just started Googling things, and one of the things I Googled is what could cause a 13-year-old boy to lose his vision. It did turn out that, in fact, he did have this disease, what I had been reading about.
Then they found that I had Stargardt's disease.
My name is Yanni Paulus. I'm a retina specialist at the University of Michigan Kellogg Eye Center. I did my undergraduate training in chemistry and physics at Harvard. I did medical school at Stanford University. So Stargardt's disease is an inherited retinal degeneration or dystrophy, and specifically it's a macular dystrophy. And most commonly, it's a defect in ABCA4, meaning that the parents are carriers. They actually don't have it, but they're carriers for it. And then the person happens to get one from each of the parents that has it, and so they have, in essence, a 25% chance of having Stargardt's disease, and then they get it that way. So oftentimes they actually might have siblings that are normal or carriers, and then there might be one person in the family out of 3 or whatever that actually has Stargardt's.
Stargardt's macular dystrophy affects the central vision of the eyes. So imagine that there's a blurry cloud in the middle of your eyes, and whenever you look at an object, it blends into the background.
So your eye, if you want to think about it like a camera, has the cornea, the front of the eye, the lens in the middle, and then the actual kind of film, if you will, on the back part of the eye. And that film is called the retina. Now, the center part of the retina is called the macula. So the macula is what we use anytime we want to use our best vision. Like, for example, if we're reading something, if we're driving and so forth, anytime we use our center vision, that's called the macula.
An example of my central vision being worse is when I'm taking a group photo, I don't know where to look to see the camera. When I'm told where to look, once I look at the camera just disappears and I don't know what I'm looking at.
A lot of people think that this can be just corrected with glasses, but what people have to understand is that glasses do not do anything for Stargardt's disease because the problem is on the retina itself. Now, Jaxson does wear glasses, but that is not to correct his vision with the Stargardts. It is to correct a refractive error that he has with the lenses of his eyes. The point being, we want to correct that error so that whatever he can see will be as clear as possible.
I'm often asked the question, what did you see before you had Stargardts? And I can't answer that question because I don't remember. I've had the disease for so long that I don't remember what it was like before the disease. When you have a disability, you adapt over time and you forget about what it was like before.
Jaxson's vision is 2200 now. Now, when he first was diagnosed with Stargardt's, he was about 2150. What that means is that what a normal person can see from 200 feet away, Jaxson needs to be about 20 feet away. Once a person reaches 2200 on their vision or worse, that is what constitutes legal blindness.
With my disability, I have to change a lot of things in my life. I have to be closer to the TV, I have to have a bigger monitor, I have to have larger print fonts for my documents, I have to take photos of the menu at restaurants so I can zoom in. At the start of high school, I was in an ASL class and I had to drop out because I couldn't see my teacher's hand motions.
He was a boy who was excited about getting a driver's license and having freedom like his brothers, and your heart just aches for your child because you know their future is going to look very different from the futures he has been watching his brothers get into with driving and careers. He had this memory of when he first got his glasses in 5th grade and he looked out the window at the doctor's office and he saw the crisp lines of the leaves and the trees and the clouds, and he just felt amazing that day and how crisp everything was. And he was really upset on the drive home about the fact that he would never see the crisp outlines of leaves in a tree again. And again, as a parent, that was just really hard to hear.
Having a disability is challenging, but the world is getting more accessible for people with visual impairments.
Well, so I actually want to discuss treatments because we're in an exciting world now. So classically, we used to say, if you had asked people, I don't know, 30, 40 years ago, there were unfortunately no treatment. So what we typically told patients was, well, wear sunglasses if you're out in bright sunlight, and they referred patients to low vision doctors. And we're starting to enter an exciting new era in the treatment of all retinal degenerations, and in macular dystrophies such as Stargardt's. And that's the era where we actually have treatments, and it's really exciting.
And Jaxson almost never sits on the sidelines and says that he can't do something. He gets out there and tries. He plays in PE, all the sports, even though he can't really see the ball that well. He doesn't ever take the easy way out. He continues to challenge himself and lives to the same standard as everybody else. Needs a little bit of extra help. In other words, he has devices on his computer that allow him to magnify what he's looking at so he can actually do his homework and schoolwork and read things on the computer. And he is constantly finding ways to adapt and to continue to live his life to the fullest. And it makes us very proud.
Companies like the Two Blind Brothers are helping fund research to find a possible cure to Stargardt's disease and other visual impairments. As the world advances and gets more digital, overcoming challenges gets easier for everyone.
Hallelujah.